Should we should we just say it like that, or should we do the synchronization? I do like looking into a nigga's eyes and synchronizing with him.
You're not gonna do it out. Keep his eyes closed. Oh man!
All right. Well, if you haven't been here before, we are
Movies for the people,
and we got a good one for you guys this week. What did we go see?
I asked you first.
Damn it, you said it so fast. We went and saw we went and saw The Hate You Give, starring.
You gonna say it right?
How do you pronounce her name? I feel like you've heard it said before.
I haven't. I just assume it's Amanda Stenberg.
Amanda Stenberg. That
Yeah.
sounds about right. She was Rue, right?
Was she?
I'm pretty sure.
Bro, really? Holy fuck, she was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rue done grown up since she was murdered. I think she was murdered. I never finished those movies. I don't know if she came back.
I mean, she definitely didn't come back.
Well, that's sad.
She was a child and she died.
You know what's crazy?
Hmm.
In Hunger Games, she died and started a rebellion. And in this one, her friend died and she started the rebellion. It's like they should have, instead of that black dude, what is his name?
What is his name?
Algie Smith. They should have had Jennifer Lawrence play the I'm just saying, just hear me out. Jennifer Lawrence in blackface.
No, absolutely not.
It's okay.
Why the fuck would you say that? It's not okay. You know better. You just try to get yourself in trouble. People, forgive him. He knows not what he says.
Name one good actor who didn't play something offensive.
What did Will Smith play that was offensive?
A fish. And that concussion. That accent was horrible. It wasn't offensive to Africans, just everybody who had to hear it.
What did Eddie Murphy play that was offensive?
Have you ever just seen it stand up?
Nah. I said, what did he play that was offensive? I didn't say what did he say that was offensive.
A plus size woman.
Who was that offensive to?
Plus size women.
Nah, that was like a very specific plus size woman. That wasn't every plus size woman in the world.
That was a very specific, yeah.
What was her name? What was her name?
I don't know.
It was some wild shit. I don't know why in my head it's like Mercutio or some shit. But
that sounds about right.
That's not what it is.
That sounds about right, though. It was something like that.
I don't think that was offensive.
Okay, so The Hate You Give 2, starring Jennifer Lawrence.
No.
Coming to theaters 2019.
Also, she didn't start a rebellion, all right? She didn't start a rebellion.
Who didn't?
Amanda Stenberg.
Oh.
Star. She didn't start a rebellion in this movie.
She helped in one.
Who did she rebel against?
The man.
The man ain't worried about her.
She is rebelling against the civil injustices of the world.
Civil injustices?
Yes.
But she only lives in America. What do you mean the world?
America is the world.
Oh, okay.
I just want you all to know, who are listening in other countries, if you're not in America, you don't matter.
So to our listeners from fucking Spain and what was it? What was the other one? Fucking Sweden?
You don't matter.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I love you guys.
I don't. I don't know you guys. I'm really happy you support us, but I don't love you.
Honestly, I've come to the conclusion that you guys are probably like real weird hackers and downloading our episodes for some strange reason, but
You're gonna do something bad to us, and I'm scared.
Keep listening. We appreciate it.
And I was just kidding. You guys matter, of course. Don't hurt me.
Just like Black Lives Matter.
Non-Americans matter.
Oh, the country we live in. Where
Let's
we get
be real,
movies
though.
like this. What?
Oh, no, never mind. I was about to go down a rabbit hole, and as soon as you started talking, I was like, we don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
Let's not go down the rabbit hole, but like get the name of the rabbit hole.
No, not a good idea. Let's not.
I promise we won't go down the rabbit hole. I'll stop talking about it. I just want to know what it was. We can talk about it later.
It was just about Black Lives Matter.
Oh, okay. Well, we're probably going to end up in that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
it's kind of the
but
context of this movie.
It was a very strong opinion that I probably don't even believe in. I don't really believe in a lot.
I know.
I have no
I've met
purpose.
you. I don't know if I agree with that, but you know, people tell Ace he's not useless. You're not useless, Ace. You're not useless, Ace. You're not useless, Ace.
I don't like that last guy. He scared me. I don't feel comfortable. He actually made me feel more useless.
Oh my god. All right, let's talk about this fucking movie. I mean, we are, but we're just kind of ranting right now.
So basically, this movie is about a 16-year-old girl who goes to a preppy school, and because they're from a lower income area,
mm-hmm.
and you see how politically correct I sound. I sound so fucking politically correct. I could talk on white TV shows.
Don't do it. Don't talk on white TV shows.
I kind of want to talk on white TV shows.
Nah, bro, you're on a black podcast.
Like, I want to go to a white TV show and just start acting wild. But then it's like, then what would they say? You know?
They would say they weren't surprised you're black.
Oh, fuck.
And you will have contributed to the problem. So don't do it.
What the fuck are we talking about? I feel like we've just been saying a bunch of random shit for the last 3 minutes of this intro. Should we start over?
No.
No? All right, we're in it.
Cut some shit. I don't care. We're not starting over.
No starting over. You heard it here first. You're getting all that shit. So, yeah, she's a 16-year-old girl. She goes to a preppy school with a bunch of white kids who she has to act like a certain version of herself there.
She has to code switch. Her life is code switching.
Yes.
Do you not know what code switching is?
No.
That's super weird that you don't know. I mean, you know what code switching is. You do it every day.
I definitely do.
Yeah. It's like when black people start talking like white people and acting like white people in situations where it benefits them to act or sound white.
Oh. Yeah, I've been doing that my whole life.
I super oversimplified that, but yeah, that's what code switching is.
Where did I get that title? I've never heard that before.
You've never heard that before?
No.
Can we not get into that? We're talking about the movie. We want to talk about
This is a part of the movie. And the message behind it, which I don't really think there was one. I mean, there was, but it's a real vague one.
Interesting.
I don't think it had its own message.
What do you mean you don't think it had its own message?
I think this was, and don't get mad at me here. Don't get mad. I think this was a guy monetizing black death and murder. He had no message here. He made a basic ass movie just spouting everything that's on social media. Really, like, if you are an artist if someone just painted a basic ass, I don't know how to describe it. It's not really, he doesn't have his own message. Movies are a form of art. You have to have your own message with it. And when most of your dialogue is fucking shit I see on the news and on TV all the time, you can't make a movie better than real life. Like, I see this shit all the time, so I can't really feel for this movie at all.
So you know the movie's based on a book, right?
It's based on a book?
Yeah. That was written by a woman.
Well, then she's trash.
But also, here's the thing about this movie.
Okay.
You say that they're basically spouting off things you see on like social media and whatever.
Yeah.
I can get that. But the problem with that is that when people see that stuff, they don't care about it. There's actually an interview Amanda Stenberg did with Trevor Noah. Was it The Daily Show? Is it The Daily Show? Yeah. Mm-hmm. About the movie and like how jokingly their like goal was like crying white people, and I
really got to talk about everybody that was in the theater with me when I wanted to go see it, but
I was the only one in the theater when I saw it.
Really?
They literally, the movie was not playing. I paid for my ticket, went into the theater, and I had to go back and get them to come start the movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's a thing. People are so desensitized to like everything that goes on in the world, especially in America regarding black people. And when you find another way to approach that conversation, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because people don't want to see it as they're scrolling down social media. They'll just ignore it. People don't want to see it on the news. They'll just ignore it. People aren't going to go and read a book about it unless they're black. So the next best thing to do, make a movie about it. Make a movie that people paid $10 for and aren't going to leave in the middle of unless they're really pissed off because they want to deny that this stuff happens every day to black people. And yeah, you make money from it, but you're also trying to convey the message that there are people in the country who suffer from injustices every day because of the color of their skin, regardless of what the law says or what you see on the news. I mean, literally, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, there was a man who was lynched in his backyard in, where was it?
When did this book come out?
2017.
My nigga, they already made a movie about it?
Because it's prevalent.
When you're an artist, you can't just spout.
Missouri, that's where he was. Donye Jones.
Spout is the wrong word. You can't repeat what you heard. You have to.
Art imitates life.
Art does imitate life, but art also has to be good.
Okay, but here's the problem with you saying art has to be good. We have this podcast, right?
Yeah.
And at all turns, everything we do is subjective.
True.
You can say something is terrible and I can say something amazing, but that's still our opinion. People are listening to our opinion. So you can't just say...
I didn't mean... When I mean good was the wrong word. Creative was the... You can't... Like, there was not a single creative thing in here. There was one. And that scene almost fucking got me, bro. I knew it was coming. since they mentioned it. But we'll talk about that in the spoiler.
Okay.
In the spoiler discussion.
Okay.
I just really feel like, what is the purpose? What makes this movie special?
Well, what's the last movie you saw that talked about these issues?
Talked about these issues about black people being fucking killed
Treated
by cops.
unjustly.
People being treated unjustly was the last movie I saw.
Mm-hmm. In America.
There's Get Out. There's the movie that we just watched that's also being talked about this.
What?
No. Or not. The other movie that we're doing for this podcast, for our Ben Banter.
That's debatable, but...
There is Selma that just came out a few years ago.
How long?
I think that was like 3 or 4.
Okay.
There's a movie every year. Moonlight. I don't remember what came out last year. Black Panther.
There needs to be a movie every year.
I don't know. Does there need to be an Assassin's Creed every year?
No, but Assassin's Creed isn't prevalent to our culture.
I'd rather there be a...
Here's the thing, right?
Here's the thing. No, okay. Hang on. Let me finish.
Okay.
When you're making a movie, especially on a touchy topic like this, why do you think Get Out touched so many people? Imagine that being made by Tyler Perry. Would it have been a hit? No, because he wouldn't have taken the time to flesh everything out so perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
This movie did not do that. It was not well written, well acted, or I don't know. The pacing was off too. There was some parts in the middle where I was like, all right, we can keep going. And this had my girl in it. As soon as I saw her, I got hyped. And I wanted to love this movie. Sorry, there was 2 things in the movie that were pretty, that I was not, I was expecting one of them. There's 2 things that were pretty creative. But, yeah, Issa Rae is in this. Best smile in Hollywood. Amazing actress. Issa Rae for Captain America.
She wasn't amazing.
She wasn't amazing?
No, you just said that it was bad, that the acting wasn't good.
No, she's an amazing actress. She wasn't good in this.
Oh, okay.
Like, nobody was really great in this. Even Common. I love Common.
Common was in the movie for like 5 whole minutes.
Common had one of the most important scenes in the movie. That whole conversation with her. With her and him. That was a very important conversation.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just went over way too, like there needed to be more of that in this movie, I think. Because at the end of the day, complaining about a bunch of stuff never gets anything done. Discussions do and actions do.
Mm-hmm. Which is what happened in the movie.
When?
At the end. That was the whole point.
I don't remember that, honestly. We'll talk more about it in the spoil, because I don't want to spoil anything trying to figure out what happened in the end again.
Okay.
But actually, I remember what happened in the end. Yeah, there was no actions in there that. Oh, okay. Okay, I do remember that. And that did get some stuff done, and I was happy about that. Should we explain a little more about this movie?
Okay, context. Doing the best we can to tell you about this movie without spoiling it, because this is our spoiler-free review. We're going to give you the things you should already know if you watch any of the trailers, but if you didn't watch the trailers, then I guess you're SOL.
I really feel like if you've watched the trailers, you kind of know exactly what happens in this movie, front to end.
Yes and no.
Like, there's definitely going to be a few little scenes. But for the majority, you know mostly what happens in the movie. You know the main plot line.
Okay. I can agree with that.
I mean, if you've watched the news in the last 4 months, you know the main plot line.
Yes and no. That's more of a yes and no than the original yes and no.
All right.
This is a difficult episode because I personally like the movie and I see what the purpose of the movie was. Whereas Ace,
I see what the purpose of the movie was too. I definitely get what the purpose of the movie is.
mm-hmm.
But I think when there are actually people dying,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't be making a movie about these people that are dying and not make it an amazing movie. Everything has to be perfect for that.
I don't agree with that. And the reason I don't agree with that is because when you say what do you mean by everything has to be perfect?
I think the tone of the movie just didn't, like, I don't want to see them. It's just really hard without spoiling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Should we continue to just kind of talk about the spoilers and then we can get more in depth?
I don't know.
All right. I think this concludes our spoiler free.
Where are we at?
Where are we at? 26 minutes.
Oh, that's actually really good for...
Time flies when you're having serious conversation and staring deeply into your co-host's eyes. Don't look away.
1 out of 10 would not recommend.
The sheriff's had 1 star. I'm giving it 1 star.
What the fuck was that? What was that?
That was the 1 star rating on Red Dead.
Oh yeah.
Yo, if you ever got free time, go on your Xbox or PlayStation and just read the 1 star reviews for good games.
Man.
They're pretty funny.